Three issues have consumed our national debate for years now. It's just getting so tiring: immigration, climate change, and gun control. And as a conservative, I'd like to throw an idea out to the leftists, elitists, rich people who are so concerned about these issues. It's a concept that I know we all are familiar with. It's called leading by example. Now, our politicians never do that, ever, in history. They just want to tell us what to do. But here's what that would look like. Now, I experienced that myself many times. One good example was I was in a church years ago that decided we needed to build this building for our growth, and so I was put as the head of the fundraising campaign. And I remember we hired this consultant to come in. He came to my house after I picked him up at the airport, and he said, "Hey, I need to know something before our meeting tonight." He said, "How much money are you going to give every single week? And by the way, it needs to be substantial, above and beyond your regular giving, and you need to make that public to the church." Well, I was offended when he said that, and I wanted to say, dude, number one, who are you? I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to give. Well, then he explained to me the point or the principle of leadership by example. He simply said, listen, if you don't get up and say that, then everybody will just, hem-haw and do their own thing. But if you get up and show your sacrifice, your commitment, the weekly giving that you're going to do, they will follow you and they will make similar sacrifices. And that will make the program successful. I hate to admit it, but he was right. And in our political situation right now, oh my gosh, we need leadership by example. Let me tell you what I mean. Take the immigration issue. We're talking about building a wall on the southern border. You know what? If you live in a gated community, a mansion where I can't even have the freedom to drive my car up through your neighborhood just to check out the fancy houses for fun, you have no voice in this, okay? None. Same thing with climate change. If you've got mansions all across the country from LA to New York and you traveled around in private jets, I'm sorry, your argument is just in vain. We can't hear that. And the same thing with gun control. If you surround yourself with people with high-powered guns and then turn around and say to us, we can't protect ourselves with high-powered guns, it's a futile and ridiculous waste of time. Here's what I want to see from our leftist friends, especially these issues. The next time there's a big award show, like Oscars, Grammys, that kind of stuff, and I know how beneficial and rewarding and special it is just to slam and curse Donald Trump to the end of the world. But just for once, can you imagine an actor or musician that would stand up and say, hey, because I so believe in these liberal issues of immigration, climate change, and gun control, here's what I am going to do. This is my sacrifice. One, I'm giving up all my homes except for just one that I'm going to live in. And you know what? I'll stay in hotels like everybody else. I will never again fly in a private jet. I will purchase an available seat and coach like everybody else to try to reduce my carbon footprint. And you know what? I'm going to open up my neighborhood. I'm going to open up the gate. We're going to allow anybody that wants to drive through the area that I live in because I believe in open borders. I don't want there to be anyone that can't use their freedom in that way. And lastly, I know I have people around me with high-powered guns. I'm getting rid of those. I'm going to trust in the police like I've encouraged regular Americans to do. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm necessarily going to change all my opinions on these issues, but I got to tell you, that would so open up honest dialogue and really do it in the right tone. It would be incredible. So I encourage our politicians, I encourage rich people, for once in our history, lead by example.